Okay, thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. It is July 12th. It is Wednesday. We are officially in the middle of the week, which means we're just a few days away from starting the weekend for a lot of us. Happy Monday to people who are just now starting their week. But right now, we are following a lot of developing stories here in the newsroom, and we'll continue to follow them throughout the day. I do want to start off with this new video you just saw here on your screen. We are getting new details on that deadly Greyhound bus crash that killed 3 people and injured at least 14 others after crashing into multiple semi-trucks. Our sister station KMOV in St. Louis has the latest on this crash. Let's take a listen in.
We are here on the side of I-70 in the grass on the shoulder of the road here. These are the westbound lanes of I-70, and behind me you can see where this crash happened. There's a truck back there, a semi-truck that got rammed into by a Greyhound bus. 3 of these semis were involved in this crash. It happened right here near Highland, Illinois, near this rest area, the Silver Lake rest area in this off-ramp. And we have confirmed that that Greyhound bus was traveling from Indianapolis to St. Louis. And between both people that were injured and people who were killed in this, it's 17 total. 3 people killed and 14 more injured. Again, more people were flown from the scene, and some of the ambulances were even landed directly on the highway when this happened about 2 this morning. And since we've been here at 3, we've been checking out the scene and trying to get you the latest updates here in Madison County. Now, westbound traffic has been slowed and stopped on this highway for many hours. We've recently seen it start to pick up. And again, we understand 3 people are dead and 4 were flown from the scene. 10 more rushed to local hospitals. ISP, Illinois State Police, telling us the Greyhound bus hit the 3 semi-trucks that were parked on the off-ramp right there on westbound I-70. And again, the highway has opened up here recently. You can see they've even moved in some orange vehicles with that sign that says accident ahead to warn drivers coming through this very busy thoroughfare that runs between Indianapolis and St. Louis. We're working to get you the latest updates on the air and online. In Madison County, Illinois, Alex Gall, back to you.
And right now we are hearing from one of the drivers who was inside of one of these semi-trucks that was actually hit. I talked about him earlier during one of our Facebook Lives and YouTube Lives as well. And I mentioned that he helped 5 people get out of the Greyhound. And I didn't know at the time that he was actually one of the drivers that was inside of one of the semi-trucks that was hit. We are going to take a listen in to what he says as our sister station KMOV interviewed him earlier this morning.
I was in the air when I woke up, and I'm not saying woke up, just kind of trying to wake up. And then I got up, got my shoes on, and there was a gentleman that got out of the bus. And then we went and tried to help assist get everybody out of the bus. And yeah, we turned the bus off. We had to put out
behind
the wheel
me.
was on
It was
fire,
a pregnant.
so we had to put the wheel out. And then Illinois' Finest came out and started. And it seemed like 5 minutes, but it was like an hour. It was amazing.
And on top of that, we are also hearing from another passenger. We do know that he was heading home to Little Rock, and that video is on Twitter, so we are going to turn there now. This is coming from a reporter with KMOV.
I was laying like this, so when the bus stopped, when it got hit, I ended up sliding through the aisle. And that's how it happened. Woke up, nose leaking like a mug. I woke up looking for my phone. That's the first thing I did. Woke up looking for my phone. I looked behind me. There was a pregnant lady behind me. So I had to help her up, get her out the window, because she said she couldn't breathe. So I had to help her up, continue to look for my phone. Smoke coming through the bus. So I went on and got off the bus.
And of course, I just want to go over a few details regarding this crash. If you were just now joining us, taking a look at another drone footage that we have here coming from KMOV. Again, 4 victims were transported on a helicopter and 10 more were rushed to the local hospital by ambulance. And again, this all happened on westbound I-70 near Highland, Illinois at around 2 o'clock this morning, 1:55 to be exact. Westbound traffic is still backed up for miles. You can see that here on your screen as crews are still at the scene collecting debris right now, and the highway is still closed. Of course, our coverage on this deadly crash will continue. Again, 4 victims were transported on a helicopter, 10 more more were rushed to local hospitals. In total, I do want to give you that number again. 3 people were killed and at least 14 others were injured. So we will continue our coverage on that story. But right now, I do want to turn to another story that we are following here in the newsroom. This information just coming in, this video actually just coming in from one of our reporters, photogs, I should mention. A fire investigation is underway right now after the Kansas City, Missouri Fire Department responded to a structure fire at a church earlier this morning. Now, KCFD said that crews responded to a fire at Mount Washington Missionary Baptist Church. That's the video you're seeing right here on your screen. Crews on the scene reported smoke and fire showing and went into the interior to fight the fire. At the time, officials don't believe anyone was inside of this church and no injuries have been reported. But KCFD said that the fire was under control as of 6:05 this morning. And it is under investigation by the KCPD Bomb and Arson Unit, and that's due to the nature and use of this structure. So, of course, this video just coming in, like I mentioned, one of our photogs was on the scene, and you can see firefighters were still on the scene as well. The fire is out. That is the good news. They got it under control as of 6 o'clock this morning, but they are still picking up debris, and they are still trying to investigate exactly what started this fire. As far as the latest from the church, we don't have that information just yet, but we will keep you all posted once we hear from them. Again, that took place at Mount Washington Missionary Baptist Church in Kansas City, Missouri. And right now, I do want to turn to another story that we told you all about yesterday. It did take place yesterday, but we are still following the latest developments. If we take a look at that video here, this is a shooting update. 2 teens were taken to the hospital after a shooting in Overland Park yesterday afternoon. Now, both are expected to survive, but shots were fired near 102nd and Antioch. And officers say that 1 teen was outside when a Dodge Durango pulled up, and there was a conversation and then gunshots followed. Officer John Lacey says this is an isolated situation between teens that had an ongoing beef, and he also said that juveniles need to understand that they need to have some type of dialogue or some type of resolution so that they can talk to each other before they pick up the guns. And we actually have sound from the officer. Let's take a listen in.
It's a very, very quiet area, right? 103 and Antioch is basically in the heart of our city, and usually we don't have any type of this type of crime in this area, so this is not normal for this particular area.
So as far as the shooting is concerned, the latest on that, officers believe it started because of an ongoing fight, but we'll keep you posted on the latest developments regarding that shooting in Overland Park yesterday afternoon. Right now, I do want to end on a positive note, a story that we are, of course, following here at KCTV5. Quarterback has officially released on Netflix, and so Patrick Mahomes is taking over Netflix right now, and it takes a deep dive behind the scenes with his family, as well as the road to Super Bowl that took place earlier this year. Now, we are listening to Mahomes. He spoke about it not too long ago, and I do want to take a listen in. It is very exciting here in Kansas City, but we'll also hear from other quarterbacks with different NFL teams.
They're going to see how different I am here and then on the field. I think that's the biggest thing that you're going to see is I try to cut out as much profanity as I could, but it's hard. You would get nothing in the whole game. And so I think you see that, and then you see the process of throughout the week. And I know you hear it in the trailer and stuff like that. People don't. I mean, it's just hard. Not a lot of people see the process of throughout a week of how much preparation and working out, and it's a long season. It's 8 months pretty much from July until February, whatever you want to call it. And OTAs as well, and so you have to prepare, and it's a long process of you're getting better. Even if it's not that day, you don't have the success you want, you did it for a reason to get better, and I think that's what you're going to see, and I think you see it from 3 different perspectives at the quarterback position, and you can have success in all different ways, so it's really cool, and hopefully they pick up another season, we get some other quarterbacks, so you can see their perspective as well.
I don't know if I'll watch it, but he handled himself right, so it didn't affect anybody, and those guys did a nice job of kind of staying away. Everything was distant, or our own people, working through our own people here. So it wasn't a distraction. Like some of those things can be a distraction. This wasn't a distraction. And, whatever turns up, but it's, he handled it the right way.
And we actually hear that the final 2 episodes are very focused on the Mahomes family. Again, quarterback, I should say, is streaming on Netflix right now if you want to check that out. Again, it will feature quarterback Patrick Mahomes with the Kansas City Chiefs. And so I know a lot of us here will be tuning in to that. And the Kansas City Chiefs actually posted this video as well. So definitely head there to take a look at the trailer for quarterback that is now streaming now. So of course I am here at the live desk, Janae Hancock, and I will continue to keep you all posted on the developing stories, including that deadly crash that took place earlier this morning at around 2 o'clock, the latest developments following that. So be sure to tune in with me here on our social media platforms as I will bring you the latest.